When life becomes heavy, when the heart feels tired, and when you look around and find no strength left to hold yourself together, remember this: your hardship is not a sign of abandonment. It is a sign that you are being carried. Sometimes Allah allows the storm not to break you, but to cleanse you. He allows the darkness not to drown you, but to teach you where true light comes from. You were never asked to be perfect. You were only asked to turn back, to rely, to trust, to hope, even when hope feels out of reach. Every tear you shed is witnessed. Every silent prayer you whisper in the middle of the night is recorded. And every moment you think you cannot go on, Allah sends you strength in ways you cannot see. Hardship is not the opposite of mercy. Sometimes it is mercy. It shakes away the illusions we cling to: control, certainty, people, outcomes, and brings us back to the only one who never changes. You are not being punished. You are being redirected. You are not being forgotten. You are being reshaped. Even the weight you feel today has a purpose. It is molding your heart into something softer, stronger, and closer to its creator. Do not measure your life by how easy it becomes, but by how connected it makes you. Your pain is not random. Your journey is not meaningless. And your heart, no matter how broken, can still be a place where light enters. So hold on. Breathe. Trust that this chapter is making you into someone you were always meant to become. When life feels unbearably heavy, when every step seems like a mountain and every breath feels like a struggle, it is easy to feel abandoned, as if the world has turned its back on you and even Allah has left you to face the storm alone. But what if the very moments that feel like loneliness and despair are, in truth, a form of divine care that your heart cannot yet recognize? What if the weight you carry, the sleepless nights, the tears that fall silently in the dark, are all part of a greater plan? A plan that is shaping you, protecting you, and guiding you towards something far greater than the comfort of ease. Hardship is not abandonment, it is divine care in disguise. And this is a truth that only the heart that trusts can begin to understand. Think about the nature of growth. A seed does not sprout on soft soil under perfect skies. It must be buried in darkness, pressed down by the earth, and pushed through resistance in order to reach the light. The roots must stretch and struggle to find nourishment, and only through that pressure does the seed finally bloom. In the same way, the struggles you face are not punishments. They are the soil in which your soul is being strengthened. The trials you endure are not signs that you are forgotten. They are signs that you are being prepared for something far beyond what you can see right now. They are reminders that your life is not measured by comfort alone, but by growth, resilience, and the depth of your connection to the one who knows you best. It is natural to feel overwhelmed, to question, to wonder why certain difficulties have entered your life. But these moments, heavy as they are also invitations. They invite you to turn inward, to examine the corners of your heart you have ignored, and to draw closer to the one whose mercy never fails. Divine care does not always come wrapped in ease or delivered in a way that feels gentle. Sometimes it comes in the form of challenges that stretch your patience, test your faith, and strip away the illusions of control you cling to so tightly. And yet, even in the heart of difficulty, even in the midst of sorrow and uncertainty, the hand of Allah is never absent. It is guiding, shaping, and protecting, even when you cannot see it. The human heart tends to measure love and care by what is comfortable, what is easy, what brings immediate relief. But divine care is not measured this way. Sometimes the love that protects us is hidden behind circumstances that seem harsh, and the guidance that shapes our destiny arrives disguised as a trial. When you feel abandoned, remember that the one who knows every atom of your being is closer than you can imagine. Every struggle, every heartbreak, every disappointment is part of a dialogue you are having with your own soul and with your Creator, a dialogue that, if you allow it, will lead you to healing, clarity, and a peace that surpasses understanding. So when life feels heavy, and when the nights are long and the heart feels fragile, do not mistake the weight of your trials for neglect. The very fact that you are being tested is evidence that you are being cared for. The very fact that challenges continue to touch your life is evidence that you are not alone. The storms are not sent to break you, but to strengthen you, to cleanse your heart, to remind you that reliance on Allah is the only anchor that will not fail. Hardship, in this sense, is a gift disguised as difficulty, a form of love that cannot be measured by comfort alone, a shaping force that is preparing you for a destiny that is greater than your present pain. Believe in the hidden wisdom of your trials. It trusts that the moments that feel unbearable are part of a plan designed with your ultimate good in mind. Know that your struggles are not a sign of abandonment, but a profound reminder of divine care. A care that sees what you cannot see, knows what you cannot know, and guides you toward the light even when all you can feel is darkness. In every tear, every sob, every moment of quiet desperation, there is mercy. In every night of uncertainty, there is protection. And in every trial, there is love, the kind of love that does not promise an easy life, but promises a heart that is closer to Allah than ever before. Pain has a way of breaking through the noise of life, stripping away the distractions, and shaking the heart awake. It is relentless, uninvited, and sometimes feels unbearable, but it carries with it a hidden wisdom. It reminds the heart that it is not self-sufficient, that it was never meant to bear the weight of the world alone. When everything feels like it is falling apart, when the soul is heavy and the mind is clouded with worry, pain quietly redirects the heart back to the one who healed. In the stillness that follows suffering, in the nights where tears flow silently, and in the moments when no one seems to understand, the heart is reminded that there is one whose mercy is infinite, whose wisdom is beyond comprehension, and whose love is unshakable. Pain is not random. It is purposeful. It is a messenger guiding the heart back to its source, to the one who knows it fully and loves it completely. When we live in comfort, it is easy to forget our dependence on something greater than ourselves. We tell ourselves that we can control outcomes, that we can protect ourselves from hurt, and that our plans alone can shape our lives. But pain has a way of dismantling these illusions. It exposes the limits of our control, the fragility of our hearts, and the reality that true strength does not come from independence, but from reliance on the one who created us. Every heartbreak, every loss, every disappointment is a divine invitation to release our pride, to surrender our false sense of security, and to lean on the one whose care is steadfast. Pain is not meant to make us bitter. It is meant to make us aware, to redirect our gaze upward, to bring us closer to the one who can restore what is broken and fill what is empty. There is a unique intimacy in the moments when pain drives us back to our Creator. It is in those quiet moments of desperation, when words fail and the heart can only whisper prayers, that a connection is forged, a connection that is deeper than joy, stronger than comfort, and more transformative than any worldly success. The heart begins to understand that healing does not always come in the form we expect. It may not erase the wound immediately or remove the difficulty entirely, but it provides a presence that sustains, a light that guides, and a hope that cannot be extinguished. Pain redirects the heart not only towards seeking relief, but towards seeking the source of all relief, the one whose love can soothe the deepest ache, whose mercy can wash away the heaviest guilt, and whose wisdom can transform suffering into a source of strength. Sometimes, pain acts as a mirror, reflecting back the areas of our hearts that are neglected, wounded, or disconnected. It calls attention to our reliance on the wrong things, on people who cannot save us, on material comforts that feed, on our own abilities that fall short. And in that reflection, there is an invitation to turn away from what cannot heal, and to turn toward the one who alone can restore, renew, and make the heart whole. Pain is a redirection, a divine signal that reminds us that the one who created the heart also knows exactly how to mend it. He knows its limits, its fears, its hidden hurts, and its deepest desires. And when we surrender to this reality, we find a peace that surpasses understanding, a comfort that the world cannot give, and a strength that is born not from avoidance of pain, but from trusting in the one who guides us through it. The heart often resists pain because it wants certainty, ease, and control. Yet, the truth is that healing and transformation are rarely born in comfort. They are born in the moments when we recognize our own weakness and reach for the hand that is always there. Pain redirects the heart back to the one who can truly heal, not as a punishment, but as a blessing disguised as difficulty. It reminds us that we are not alone, that our struggles are seen, and that there is a source of hope and restoration that never wavers. Every tear, every moment of grief, every night of uncertainty can be transformed into a journey toward connection, trust, and renewal if we allow pain to guide our hearts to the one who heals. So when life hurts, when the burden seems too heavy, and when the heart feels exhausted from carrying its sorrows, remember this: pain is not meaningless. It is not a signal of rejection or failure. It is a compass, redirecting you back to the one whose love is unending, whose mercy is ever present, and whose hands can mend what is broken. The hurt you feel today may very well be the pathway to a heart that is stronger, softer, and closer to the one who can heal it completely. Pain is never wasted. Pain is never random. Pain is always purposeful, and in that purpose lies the promise of restoration, hope, and a heart reborn. Every tear you shed, every silent prayer whispered in the quiet of your heart, and every struggle you endure does not go unnoticed. Life often makes us feel as though we are invisible, as though our suffering is small and inconsequential, as though no one truly sees the depth of what we carry. But there is one who witnesses it all. Every single detail of your pain, every quiet sigh, every moment you feel too weak to speak, too fragile to stand. Even when the world seems deaf to your cries, even when friends drift away and circumstances feel relentless, the truth remains: you are never unseen, and your heart's burdens are never meaningless. Every tear, every silent prayer, and every struggle is witnessed. They are preserved in the divine memory, held with care, and honored in a way that surpasses human understanding. The quiet moments of grief often feel isolating. Perhaps you are crying alone in your room, your heart heavy with worry, shame, or fear. Perhaps you are struggling in silence because you do not want others to see your weakness, or because you cannot find the words to express the depth of your pain. In these moments, it can feel as though your struggle is invisible, as though no one cares. But Allah sees. Every single tear is noticed, every whisper of the heart is heard. The one who created you knows the weight of your burdens and the depth of your longing for relief. Your silent prayer, those moments when your lips do not move but your soul cries out, are more powerful than any words spoken aloud. They are felt, treasured, and answered in ways that may not be immediate, but are always perfect in timing. Struggle is often misunderstood by the world's but not by the one who witnesses it. The hardships you face, the setbacks that shake your confidence, and the disappointments that break your heart are all seen. They are recorded not as failures, but as signs of endurance, courage, and faith. Every time you resist giving up, every time you take one small step forward despite exhaustion, and every time you turn to Allah even in the darkest hour, it is all counted. Your resilience is noticed, your prayers are noted, and your heart's sincerity is honored. Nothing escapes His attention. This awareness should bring comfort, not pressure. Comfort in knowing that your life is never ordinary, your struggles are never wasted, and your pain is never meaningless. There is a profound beauty in knowing that every tear and prayer is recorded, because it means that your relationship with the divine is intimate, personal, and fully acknowledged. It does not matter if the world misunderstands you, if people judge your struggles, or if circumstances seem hopeless. What matters is that the one who holds the universe in his hands holds your heart, sees your heart, and is fully aware of every detail of your life. This knowledge transforms suffering from something lonely into something sacred. It reminds you that even the moments of despair are filled with purpose, and that no struggle is too small or too private to escape divine attention. Sometimes we wish our prayers were loud enough to be heard by others, or that our tears were seen and acknowledged by the people around us. But the truest witness is not human. The one who watches you in secret is the one whose judgment, care, and mercy are perfect. Every difficulty you endure, every pang of sorrow, and every longing of the heart is seen with complete understanding and without judgment. This is not just consolation. It is a reminder that your life is significant beyond measure, that your struggles are meaningful, and that even when no one else notices, nothing escapes the divine gaze. Understanding that every tear, every silent prayer, and every struggle is witnessed and recorded also encourages patience and hope. It reminds us that the heart is never truly alone, and that the one who sees is also capable of transforming every hardship into a source of growth, healing, and closeness. Your moments of weakness, fear, and pain are never wasted. They are observed, honored, and held in a sacred memory that nothing in this world can erase. So let your tears flow when they must, speak your prayers even in silence, and face your struggles with courage. You are seen, you are heard, and you are valued beyond measure. Every tear, every silent prayer, and every struggle is witnessed and recorded, not as a mark of failure, but as a testament to your faith, your perseverance, and your heart's unwavering connection to the one who never forgets. Life does not hand out growth and comfort, it hands it out in challenges. Every challenge you face, every difficulty that shakes your foundations, and every obstacle that feels impossible to overcome is not meant to break you. It is meant to reshape you. Challenges are the sculptors of the soul, molding hearts with patience, refining character through struggle, and revealing the strength we did not know we possessed. We resist hardship because it is uncomfortable, because it exposes our vulnerabilities, or because it forces us to confront truths we would rather ignore. Yet, it is precisely in these moments that the soul begins its most profound transformation. The trials you endure are not meaningless. They are carefully designed opportunities for your heart to grow stronger, deeper, and more sincere. When life feels heavy, when the burden seems too much to bear, it is easy to focus on what is lost, on what is unfair, or on what we cannot control. But every challenge carries with it hidden lessons. It teaches resilience when patience feels impossible. It teaches humility when pride wants to dominate. It teaches reliance on something greater than ourselves when our own strength is not enough. The soul is not shaped by comfort or ease. It is shaped by persistence, faith, and courage in the face of adversity. Challenges do not just test us, they teach us who we are, what we value, and where our true strength lies. There is an intimacy in struggle, a closeness to the divine that is often only discovered through difficulty. When everything falls apart, when the world seems to turn away, and when the heart feels stretched beyond its limits, the soul is forced to reach for the one who never turns away. Challenges strip away the distractions, the false securities, and the illusions of control, leaving the heart raw and open to growth. In that openness, sincerity emerges. The soul begins to recognize what is real, what is lasting, and what truly matters. Trials are not only about endurance, they are about transformation, about uncovering a depth of character and faith that could not have existed without them. strength is not merely the ability to withstand pressure. It is the ability to remain compassionate, patient, and faithful in the midst of it. Challenges reshape the soul because they test not only what we can endure, but how we endure it. They push us to respond with integrity when the easiest path is compromise, to show love when anger tempts us, and to maintain hope when despair whispers lies. Through this process, the soul becomes stronger, not in hardness, but in resilience, and not in rigidity, but in adaptability. Challenges teach us that true strength is not about avoiding pain, but about facing it, learning from it, and allowing it to refine us into better, more sincere human beings. The sincerity that emerges through struggle is unlike any other. It is a quiet honesty with oneself and with the divine. It is the humility to recognize our limitations and the courage to lean on the one who knows them better than we do. It is the willingness to accept imperfection, to forgive ourselves for our shortcomings, and to pursue growth even when the road is difficult. Challenges have a way of stripping away pretense, of revealing what is authentic, and of nurturing a heart that is sincere not for recognition, not for reward, but because it has learned to value truth over comfort and faith over fear. Every obstacle you face, every disappointment that threatens to shatter your peace, every moment of uncertainty is an opportunity for the soul to deepen, to evolve, and to transform. When you feel overwhelmed, remember that the process of being reshaped is ongoing. It is patient and meticulous. It does not rush the heart or ignore the pain. It works quietly, persistently, and purposefully, ensuring that every experience leaves a trace of growth, resilience, and sincerity. Your struggles are not accidental. They are part of a divine design to create a heart that is strong, faithful, and true. So, when life tests you, do not see it as a punishment or a burden. See it as an invitation, a chance to be refined, strengthened, and reshaped. Know that the soul that endures with patience, that responds with faith, and that remains sincere in the face of adversity is a soul that has been touched by a profound, lasting transformation. Challenges may feel painful, unfair, and overwhelming, but they are never wasted. They are the tools through which your heart is molded, your character is polished, and your spirit is strengthened. They are the fires in which sincerity is forged, and through them you emerge not only stronger, but purer, wiser, and more intimately connected to the one who shapes you. True strength is often misunderstood. We think of it as the ability to control our circumstances, to resist challenges, or to bend life to our will. We equate strength with dominance, independence, and the illusion that we can manage everything on our own. But true strength does not lie in control. It does not reside in forcing outcomes or pretending that we are unshakable. True strength is found in surrender, the conscious act of letting go of what we cannot control and trusting fully in the one who holds all things. It is the strength of the heart that admits, I cannot do this alone, and yet steps forward with courage, placing trust in a power far greater than itself. It is not weakness, it is the highest form of courage, the kind that transforms fear into faith and helplessness into hope. Life constantly reminds us of the limits of our control. No matter how carefully we plan, no matter how hard we work, there are forces beyond our reach. People disappoint, circumstances shift, and unexpected trials arise. Our instinct is often to tighten our grip, to try harder, to assert ourselves in a way that we think will bring safety or stability. But in the pursuit of control, we often exhaust ourselves, cultivate anxiety, and miss the quiet guidance that comes when we release our grip. Strength, real strength, comes when we recognize that control is an illusion and that surrender is not giving up. It is giving in to the wisdom of the one who knows the beginning and the end, the seen and the unseen. Surrender requires humility, patience, and trust. It requires a heart willing to acknowledge its limitations and to rely on divine wisdom rather than personal force. It is the courage to say, I do not know what comes next, but I trust you to guide me. Surrender does not mean passivity. It does not mean neglecting effort or responsibility. Rather, it is an active choice to align our will with the divine will, to take the actions we can take while leaving the results in the hands of the one who knows best. It is the recognition that true outcomes, lasting peace, and meaningful change come not from our own control, but from trust in divine timing and wisdom. There is a profound liberation in surrender. When we stop struggling against the uncontrollable, when we release our obsession with outcomes, and when we trust in divine guidance, a deep strength emerges within us. Anxiety diminishes, hearts become lighter, and clarity begins to surface. We begin to understand that our energy is best spent in aligning ourselves with what is righteous, meaningful, and purposeful, rather than resisting the natural flow of life. True strength, then, is not measured by how tightly we hold on, but by how gracefully we let go, how faithfully we trust, and how patiently we wait for what is meant to be. Trust and surrender also deepen our connection with the divine. When we release control, we are acknowledging that we are dependent on something greater than ourselves, and that dependence is not a weakness. It is a profound form of intimacy. It is a recognition that our Creator, who knows the beginning and the end of everything, is capable of guiding us through the uncertainty, protecting us in ways we cannot see, and shaping outcomes for our ultimate good. Through surrender, we experience a peace that the mind alone cannot generate, a calm that persists even in chaos, and a confidence that our life is being guided by a wisdom far beyond our comprehensions. The heart that surrenders and trusts becomes resilient, grounded, and strong in ways that control could never achieve. It learns patience in waiting, humility in accepting what it cannot change, and courage in stepping forward despite uncertainty. It discovers that strength is not measured by how much we can dominate or manipulate, but by how fully we can trust, how faithfully we can act, and how peacefully we can rest in the knowledge that nothing escapes divine care. Every trial, every uncertainty, every moment of fear becomes an opportunity to exercise this profound strength. And with each act of surrender, the soul grows stronger, more faithful, and more steadfast. True strength is a quiet power. It does not shout, it does not demand, it does not force. It listens, trusts, and follows with patience. It chooses faith over fear, hope over despair, and submission over control. In letting go, we gain everything: clarity, peace, resilience, and a heart connected to the one who never abandons. When life feels uncertain, when trials persist, and when control seems impossible, remember that the most powerful, unshakable strength is found not in trying to hold on, but in learning to surrender and trust completely. It is in this surrender that the soul finds its freedom, its courage, and its true power. Every struggle you face, every trial that weighs heavily on your heart, and every moment of pain carries a purpose far greater than you may ever realize. It is easy to look at hardship and feel despair, to wonder why life has placed such burdens on your shoulders, and to question whether your pain is meaningful at all. But the truth is that your struggle is never random, never wasted, and never meaningless. Every difficulty, every difficulty, every tear is a brushstroke in the masterpiece of the person Allah knows you are meant to become. What you endure today is shaping the strength, patience, resilience, and wisdom that your heart will need tomorrow. Your pain is not a punishment, it is a preparation. It is molding you into someone capable of fulfilling the purpose only you were created for. Struggle has a unique way of revealing who we truly are. It strips away pretenses, uncovers hidden fears, and challenges us to confront our weaknesses. It forces us to dig deep within ourselves and to confront the parts of our hearts that we may have ignored, denied, or protected from the light. In this process, the soul is strengthened and refined. What feels like breaking is actually building. What feels like falling apart is actually being put together piece by piece, according to a plan that is perfect, even when we cannot see it. Each challenge is a teacher, each hardship a lesson, and each setback a step forward on the path of becoming the person Allah knows you can be. When you look at your life, it is tempting to measure success by ease, comfort, or the absence of pain. But real growth, real purpose, and real strength are often born in the crucible of struggle. Imagine the way gold is refined. It must endure fire to shed impurities and emerge brighter, stronger, and more valuable. In the same way, the trials you face purify your heart, sharpen your character, and deepen in your understanding of what truly matters. Your struggles are the fire in which the best parts of your soul are forged, preparing you to fulfill the destiny that is written for you in ways far beyond your imagination. The beauty of struggle is that it never happens without care. Allah knows exactly what you can bear, and He does not allow hardship to overwhelm you beyond what is meant for your growth. Every moment of difficulty, every sleepless night, every pang of worry, and every tear is part of a divine process of shaping, guiding, and preparing you for what lies ahead. Your struggle is never meaningless, because it is part of a divine design that is personal, precise, and perfectly tailored to your heart. The challenges you face today are building the wisdom, patience, empathy, and resilience that will allow you to thrive tomorrow. They are shaping the person Allah knows you are capable of becoming, the person who can face life with strength, faith, and who can touch the world in ways only your heart and soul are meant to. It is important to remember that the growth born from struggle often takes time to reveal itself. Sometimes, in the midst of hardship, it may feel as though nothing is changing, as though the pain is endless and purposeless. But even in these moments, the work of Allah is happening quietly within you. Every challenge plants a seed, every trial nurtures a root, and every tear waters the soil of your heart. Over time, you will see the beauty that has emerged from your patience, the wisdom that has grown from your endurance, and the strength that has been cultivated through your faith. Your struggle is the invisible hand that is shaping the visible blessings of your future. So do not despair when life feels hard. Do not measure your value by the absence of hardship, but by the courage, resilience, and faith you cultivate through it. Your struggle has meaning. Your struggle is purposeful. It is building the person Allah knows you can be, a heart that is strong yet compassionate, a spirit that is steadfast yet humble, and a soul that is faithful yet courageous. Every tear, every trial, every challenge is a part of this sacred process. Trust in it. Embrace it. Know that what you endure today is creating the person capable of fulfilling the destiny Allah has envisioned for you, and that this process, as difficult as it may feel, is a gift in disguise, leading you closer to your truest, most authentic self.